Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie, and today we are on day 353. I am so happy that you're here today. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be reading out of 2 Chronicles chapter 24, Zechariah chapter 6, and then we're going to close out our day in John by reading John 15, verses 18 through 27. So let's get started with 2 Chronicles chapter 24. Joash was 7 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Zebiah of Beersheba. Joash did that which was right in Yahweh's eyes all the days of Jehoiada the priest. Jehoiada took for him 2 wives, and he became the father of sons and daughters. After this, Joash intended to restore Yahweh's house. He gathered together the priests and the Levites and said to them, "Go out to the cities of Judah and gather money to repair the house of your God from all Israel from year to year. See that you expedite this matter." However, the Levites didn't do it right away. The king called for Jehoiada, the chief, and said to him, "Why haven't you required of the Levites to bring in the tax of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, and of the assembly of Israel, out of Judah and out of Jerusalem, for the tent of the testimony?" For the sons of Athaliah, that wicked woman, had broken up God's house, and they also gave all the dedicated things of Yahweh's house to the Baals. So the king commanded, and they made a chest, and set it outside at the gate of Yahweh's house. They made a proclamation through Judah and Jerusalem to bring in for Yahweh the tax that Moses, the servant of God, laid on Israel in the wilderness. All the princes and all the people rejoiced and brought in and cast into the chest until they had filled it. Whenever the chest was brought to the king's officers by the hand of the Levites, and when they saw that there was much money, the king's scribe and the chief priest's officer came and emptied the chest, and took it, and carried it to its place again. Thus they did, day by day, and gathered money in abundance. The king and Jehoiada gave it to those who did the work of the service of Yahweh's house. They hired masons and carpenters to restore Yahweh's house, and also those who worked iron and bronze to repair Yahweh's house. So the workmen worked, and the work of repairing went forward in their hands. They set up God's house as it was designed and strengthened it. When they had finished, they brought the rest of the money before the king and Jehoiada, from which were made vessels for Yahweh's house, even vessels with which to minister and to offer, including spoons and vessels of gold and silver. They offered burnt offerings in Yahweh's house continually, all the days of Jehoiada. But Jehoiada grew old and was full of days, and he died. He was 130 years old when he died. They buried him in David's city among the kings, because he had done good in Israel and toward God and his house. Now after the death of Jehoiada, the princes of Judah came and bowed down to the king. Then the king listened to them. They abandoned the house of Yahweh and the God of their fathers, and served the Asherah poles and the idols. So wrath came on Judah and Jerusalem for this their guiltness. Yet he sent prophets to them to bring them again to Yahweh, and they testified against them, but they wouldn't listen. The Spirit of God came on Zechariah, the son of Jehoiada the priest, and he stood above the people and said to them, "God says, why do you disobey Yahweh's commandments so that you can't prosper? Because you have forsaken Yahweh, he has also forsaken you." They conspired against him and stoned him with stones at the commandment of the king in the court of Yahweh's house. Thus Joash the king didn't remember the kindness which Jehoiada his father had done to him, but killed his son. When he died, he said, "May Yahweh look at it and repay it." At the end of the year, the army of the Syrians came up against him. They came to Judah and Jerusalem and destroyed all the princes of the people from among the people and sent all their plunder to the king of Damascus. For the army of the Syrians came with a small company of men, and Yahweh delivered a very great army into their hand, because they had forsaken Yahweh and the God of their fathers. So they executed judgment on Joash. When they had departed from him, for they left him seriously wounded, his own servants conspired against him for the blood of the sons of Jehoiada, the priest, and killed him on his bed, and he died. They buried him in David's city, but they didn't bury him in the tombs of the kings. These are those who conspired against him: Zabdad, the son of Shimeath, the Ammonitess, and Jehozabad, the son of Shimrith, the Moabitess. Now concerning his sons, the greatness of the burdens laid on him, and the rebuilding of God's house, behold, they are written in the commentary of the book of Kings. Amaziah, his son, reigned in his place. They had it all fixed. They had everything all rebuilt and all fixed. And all it took was for that one part of faith to be removed. And then all the trouble stirs up again. All right, Zechariah chapter 6. Again, I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, 4 chariots came out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of bronze. In the first chariot were red horses. In the second chariot were black horses. In the third chariot were white horses. In the fourth chariot were dappled horses, all of them powerful. Then I asked the angel who talked with me, "What are these, my Lord?" The angel answered, "These are the 4 winds of the sky, which go out from standing before the Lord of all the earth. The one with the black horses goes out toward the north country, and the white went out after them, and the dappled went out toward the south country. The strong went out and sought to go, that they might walk back and forth through the earth. He said, 'Go around and through the earth.' So they walked back and forth through the earth. And then he called to me and spoke to me, saying, 'Behold, those who go toward the north country have quieted my spirit in the north country.' Yahweh's word came to me, saying, 'Take of them of the captivity, even of Heldai, of Topahah, and of Jediah, and come the same day, and go into the house of Josiah, the son of Zephaniah, where they have come from Babylon. Yes, take silver and gold, and make crowns, and set them on the heads of Joshua, the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, and speak to him, saying, Yahweh of armies says, Behold, the man whose name is in the branch. He will grow up out of his place, and he will build Yahweh's temple. He will build Yahweh's temple. He will bear the glory and will sit and rule on his throne. He will be a priest on his throne. The counsel of peace will be between them both. The crowns shall be to Halem, to Bohiah, to Jediah, and to Hen, the son of Zephaniah, for a memorial in Yahweh's temple. Those who are far off shall come and build in Yahweh's temple, and you shall know that Yahweh of armies has sent me to you. This will happen if you will diligently obey Yahweh your God's voice. This will happen if. John 15, verses 18 through 27. And Jesus continues to speak. If the world hates you, you know that it has hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. But because you are not of the world, since I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you. A servant is not greater than his Lord. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will also keep yours. But they will do all these things to you for my name's sake, because they don't know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have had sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates my Father also. If I hadn't done among them the works which no one else did, they wouldn't have had sin. But now they have seen and also hated both me and my Father. But this happened so that the word may be fulfilled, which was written in their law. They hated me without cause. When the Counselor has come, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, who proceeds from the Father, he will testify about me. You will also testify, because you have been with me from the beginning. Oh, there's some things to say about this. I am nervous to say. I hope that you heard those words. There is a belief system out there that believes in God. They believe in the universe. But they put Jesus aside. And it's very clear what he's saying. All these things to you for my name's sake, because they don't know him who sent me. So they can kind of say they believe in God, they believe in the universe, they believe in this and that. But if they don't have that relationship with Jesus, I would argue they don't really know God or the universe that he created. This is where we get into the weeds, because it is much more comfortable to say we are all going to heaven. That is such a beautiful thought, and I wish it were true. It is not true. We need to have a relationship with Jesus. He is how we go to God. But now they have seen and also hated both me and my Father. But this happened so that the word may be fulfilled, which was written in their law. They hated me without cause. So, if you don't believe my words, that's okay. It's not often that anybody truly believes what I have to say. It is very common for me to say things and people do their research and then they come back and say, oh, she was right. So it's okay. You don't have to believe my words this minute. But listen to the words that we just read, because they are very serious, and it is against what mainstream would have us believe. I don't mean to be so heavy, guys, but it's there. Come back for tomorrow, please. Come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 354. Have the most wonderful day today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.